Hello, everyone. Welcome to Busy Lizzie's Budget. Thank you so much for being here today. If my voice sounds funny, it's because I am getting over having bronchitis, possibly pneumonia, and I'm starting to feel a little bit better. Today is Saturday. I'm home alone, so I wanted to film this video for you. I promised you that as soon as I could, I would film a video updating you about some things that had happened, some financial things. I at least alluded to some changes were happening or some things that happened, and I wanted to fill you guys in. So I finally have enough voice to do this video. So this is the video where I tell you why I spent $8,000 and what I spent it on and why I felt like I had to spend it and I didn't have a choice. So this is actually a pretty sad video for me to film, but you guys, this is real life. And in real life, we have to make hard decisions. Being an adult is hard. It's not easy. And I know I made the right decision, even though it's not a happy decision. It's hard to explain, but basically, I know I did the right thing, even though it hurts. And even though I spent a lot of money, I know it's for the greater good. So let me back up. This video is about my purple BMW. I have two vehicles. I have a Subaru that is, I think, a 2020, and it is paid off. It has 40,000 miles on it. My son uses it. And once I became 100% debt-free, including my mortgage, I got my dream car. It was during COVID. I got a purple sporty BMW, and I actually made this binder. This is one of my favorite binders I've ever made, and most of you guys probably have not seen it. But once I got the second car, I made a car binder, and I used to save for the cars in here. I had different categories for both cars, for the Subaru and the BMW. And I am so sad I'm not going to be using this anymore, but this is what happened. Here is the story. I did get that vehicle during COVID, and I've driven it for a couple of years. I've loved every minute of it. And look at this without the dirty cover. So cute. Anyway, this was a sticker of the, I forget what it's called. Matt would know the word, but when they're making a new model and they don't have the exact picture of it. But anyway, here's the deal. My car only has 12,000 miles on it. So it is brand new. I think it's a 2022, but regardless, the car is brand new. I have driven BMWs for many years. I had one I drove for 5 years. I never needed to do any work on it whatsoever. And this purple BMW I have that I love, I'm so thankful and grateful for it. It has been nothing but trouble. And at 12,000 miles only, I took it in to get serviced. And you guys know that. I think some of you were waiting to hear what ended up happening. It needed $5,000 worth of work. Now, some of you might think, oh, you should get a second opinion, this or that. No. I knew it needed that much work. They showed me videos. They pointed at things that were rusted. I knew my brakes weren't working anymore. My tires were down to like 1 millimeter on the tread. Basically, what they were saying was true. Everything they said was true. It needed 4 new tires. It needed a new set of brakes in the front and the back. It needed an oil change. It just needed all kinds of stuff. Plus, there was rust everywhere. I don't know how this happened. It's 12,000 miles, but Matt was researching the exact model I had, and he said other people complained about the same thing, saying something about this exact model in the year. Everyone's saying it needs all this work. So all I can say is, you guys, I got a lump in my throat or whatever you want to say. I literally was sick to my stomach. I wanted to throw up. I could not sleep at night. It was the idea that I have a brand new car, and a year and a half later, after I get it, it needs $5,000 worth of work. I'm sorry, but that is not what I signed up for or not what I ever dreamed of. And to me, that is not me having my dream car is spending all this money maintaining it. So, and again, I didn't expect that because I've driven BMWs a lot and never needed to spend a lot of money fixing them up when the car was this young. So that's all I'm going to say. Basically, that's all I'm going to say about the work it needed done and stuff like that. I was on the phone with them and I said, don't do the work. I said, give me a price of how much you would buy the car back from me for. So they gave me a price, although they did do the work, charged me for some of it. That's a whole nother story, but we're not even going to get into that. I'm going to try to keep this video basic, but also when I bought this car, I was underwater on another car. So when I bought this car, I think about $10,000 was tacked on. So when they gave me the price of what they would buy it, when they said, this is how much we'll pay to take the car off your hands, I knew that I was going to owe a bunch of money. So I knew it wasn't just going to be an even wash. I knew I wasn't just going to give them the car and get out of the payment and get out of fixing it up. I knew it was going to be, I was going to owe them some money. And again, that would have been my fault because I was underwater. So anyway, I was surprised. They actually gave me a pretty good deal, and I was pretty surprised by it. And of course, I wasn't going to have to pay $5,000 to get all of the maintenance done. So I was putting that into perspective too. So when all was said and done, I had the decision to make. I can keep the car, pay $5,000, get it fixed, and keep it, or I could sell it back to them and write a check for $8,000. And if I wrote a check for $8,000, they would take the car. It would be theirs. I wouldn't have it anymore. I would be done with it. I could wash my hands of it. I could sleep at night. Basically, I had to make a decision right away. And I contacted some friends, some family. I basically knew that the hardest thing in the world to do would be to give up this car and to pay that much to give it up and to drain my whole emergency fund to give it up. But I knew that it was the right decision. So this is what I said to my kids. And this is how I'm looking at it in a nutshell. Just because you can afford it doesn't mean you should afford it. I can make the payments to get it fixed. I can afford to fix it. But do I want to? Should I? No, I don't think I should. It's not worth it to me. It's more of a instead of it being this wonderful, super happy, celebration driving this car because I'm debt free. It's not that. It's become a burden. So anyway, just because I can't afford it doesn't mean I should afford it. So I don't know if there's anything I'm forgetting to tell you, but I ended up writing them the check for $8,000 and they took the car. I no longer have that car, and it was really sad. It was at the same time I was starting to get sick. So it's just been crazy, but I was very sad for a few days. But again, I know I'm doing the right decision. It's just because you make the right decision doesn't mean you're going to be happy. But I'm telling you right now, peace of mind and being able to sleep at night is priceless. So that is what I decided to do. Maybe that was the right thing. Maybe it wasn't. That's what I chose to do. That's what was right for me. It's been a couple weeks and I still stand by it. I'm still glad I did it. I am now sharing a vehicle with my son and it has been crazy. But you know what? I'm thankful that I have another vehicle. I'm thankful I have another vehicle that's paid off. I'm thankful I had that $8,000 to write that check. And if some of you are sitting there saying, I'm glad you brought that up because you're right. You should be grateful. I don't have that kind of money. I also do want to let you know, I am only in the position I am now because I've been cash budgeting for 2 decades. 10 years ago, 20 years ago, I would never have that kind of money. I had tens of thousands worth of debt. So I'm just letting you know, yes, I'm in a good position, but it's because it's been a long time coming and I've worked hard to get here. But yes, I also am grateful and blessed that I do make enough money that I can do more than just live paycheck to paycheck. And of course, you guys know I'm so grateful for that. So let's go ahead and get into my emergency fund. So my emergency fund that was at $9,000, you can see it is now at $1,000. And you know what? Instead of being really, really sad about it, I am going to change my perspective and just say I'm thankful that God showed me this, that I'm thankful that I found out that this car was going to be such a money pit when the car was so young. Because had this happened a year or two from now, the car might not be worth anything. And so the trade-in, or not the trade-in, but the amount that they're giving me for it might have been nothing. I might have had to pay so much to get out of the car, it wouldn't have been worth it. So I'm just choosing to be thankful that I'm found out now rather than later. So I already deducted the $8,000. We're down to $1,000. So what we're going to do is we're going to see if we can free up any more money to put in my emergency fund. So before we do that, I just want to tell you some of the good things, the pros. I already told you the cons. Let me tell you the pros about not having this car. I wrote them down, so I'm just going to tell them to you quickly. I'm not going to have a monthly payment anymore. My monthly payment was $1,088. So I'm going to have almost $1,100 a month more freed up. So that's the first pro. Also, I owed $48,500 on the car. So now my $48,500 worth of debt is instantly gone now that I wrote that check. So I am back to being 100% debt free. I don't have a debt to anyone. I've paid off my house. I've paid off my one car I have. I don't have credit card debt. I don't have school debt or anything. So I'm so thankful to say that I'm once again 100% debt free. So that feels really good. Also, my car insurance bill went down $94 this month. So it's $94 less a month. Now, I don't know if it's going to be that much less every month or if that's because I only had a couple months left in the policy. I don't know. But anyway, I know that my $94, my check is, not my check, my bill for my car insurance is $94 less this month. Also, it's going to free up $74 a month that I put in for registration. You guys see me stuff that every month. So it's going to free that money up, plus maintenance, gas, you name it. I pay for Sirius Radio. I pay for an Easy Pass. All of these things are going to go away. So I'm trying to look at the positive. So I thought we could quickly just go through my sinking funds or my savings accounts and see if there's any money we could take out of these other accounts where maybe it's not as needed and we can put it in the emergency fund just to give it a little love today. So obviously sewer and water, we're not going to touch. A lot of these we're not going to touch, but let's just go through. So Subaru will stay. We no longer need this category for BMW registration. So we have $370 in here. So that money we are going to put in my emergency fund. So I'll just take that out and I'm going to put this to the side. And then there's nothing else in here. So let me go to my next binder and we'll see what we can do. Okay, so for gifts, we do not need any more of this money. So we're going to take $100 out. I over budgeted to make sure we weren't without. And I think today's $6.15. I'm not sure. We'll just put $6.15. It doesn't really matter. We're going to put minus 100. And that will be $100 that we can add to the emergency fund. So let's see, it's 250s. All right. And then I'll just take this money out. This money should have been $370 because we've been saving $74 a month for registration, which we now won't need. Let's make sure it is $370, $51, $52, $250, $270, $290, $310, $330, $350, $370. So we have $370. Then we have these $250s. And then I just had my hair appointment. I decided I am not getting it highlighted. And I saved a bunch of money. And I'm not going to have another appointment for a couple months. So I'm going to take all this money. So this should be $220. So let's see. 51, 20, 40, 60, 80, 90, 95, 200 to 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So we're going to take all of this out. And that's the great thing about personal finance and about savings accounts. You do what works for you. There's no rules. There's no right or wrong. You don't have to feel bad if you take money out of one category to fund another. It's all about you. this is what you choose to do, and it's going to be different for everyone. So don't want to take any out of medical. Okay, so we're done with this binder, and then the last binder, which is where the emergency fund is. Let me just look through this quickly with you guys. I don't think we're touching any of this. I still want to keep my deductible. I still want to keep going on my deductible because we do have 2 vehicles. Matt has a truck, and because this could be a deductible for house insurance. You never know. So I'm going to leave travel for girls' trip. I'm not going to touch because I still want to get that up a little more. So I think that's it. So let me go back to emergency fund, and I'm going to put this aside. Now, if you guys saw my last video where we counted the evidence bag, I didn't show putting this into here because you would have seen that I took out the $8,000 and you wouldn't have known why. So I waited to do that till this video. So we've already counted this. We know this is $326, but we are definitely going to be putting this into the emergency fund. So we have $326 plus everything in this pile. So I am going to sort this money right here, and then I'll be right back to count it with you guys. Okay, so we're going to add $326 to whatever money is in my hand. So let me go ahead and count this. We have 50, 100, 50, 200, 50, 300, 350, 400, 450. Let's add 450. So we don't have to count by 50s or with a 50 in there. And then let's see what's left. We have 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 40, 60, 80, 200, 210, 215, 225, 230, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 240. So plus 240. So we should have $1,016. So we're going to add 1016. Again, I think it's around the 15th. I'm not exactly sure. It's a Saturday. Matt is working. So we now have $1,116. So it looks better than 1,000, but we're just going to have a positive attitude. And I'm going to have to just look at this as an adventure, as a big adventure, and to see how fast we can get that back up. I know we can do it. So I'm going to be picking up some extra work as soon as I feel better to try to get this built back up as well. So I'll tell you more about that later. I don't want to tell you about it until it's 110% set in stone. So I am going to take 100. I don't think we had a $100 bill. I'll take $116. So 110. And then I'm making a big mess here, you guys. What else is new? 15, 16. Oh, it's a star note. I didn't even notice that. So let's see. We have 50, 100, 110, 115, 116. And then I'm going to get 1,000. Oh, I already have it. 1,000 in prop money. So this stands for the money in the bank. And when I say money in the bank, wait a second, you guys, I made a big mistake. It's 2,000. Oh my goodness. You guys have been shouting this on the screen and I couldn't hear you. So sorry. Okay, that looks better. So we now have 2,000. So I need another prop bill. I'll be right back. We're going to use a $1,000 from Sad Saves, and we have our one from Kimmy here. And so now we have 2,000 in the bank. So we already have 1,000 in the emergency fund account. That's how much is left in that savings account. But now we have another 1,000 I'm going to deposit into that account, and the bill will represent it. So in real money, we have 116. In the bank, we're going to have 2,000. So I'm going to put this away, and I think that is all for this video. I do have a bunch of challenges that we finished in the month of May. And so the next video I do will probably contain that, or I'll do that soon because we want to get more money into here. So I will do that soon. And then hopefully next week we can go back to our regular true crime and puppy binders. But for now, I wanted to go ahead, let you know about the decision I made to spend that money to have them take my car away. And also, now I can show you, now we can go ahead and build it back up with the money from finished challenges. So thank you so much for watching. I hope I didn't forget anything, but I appreciate and I love you all. I hope that you're having a good weekend. I'd love to hear what you're up to, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.